back. This is the Sunshine and Bubblegum Podcast. Today is Wednesday the 18th, and I'm coming to you from New Orleans, Louisiana. My name is Lynn, and welcome. This is a knitting, crocheting, sewing podcast, and I am getting over a little bit of a head cold. The boys went back to school after the big Christmas break, and then they all came back sick. So Mama got sick this time. But it was just a couple days, and I'm doing better, and I have my emergency water going on right here. Not going to let it happen again. Welcome back. I have one finished object this week. I have a couple of whips that I'm working on. I have a sock inquisition that I need your help with. And I also have a couple of bags that are going to be going up in the shop soon, and they are actually, these ones will be kits with two awesome, beautiful yarn dyers. So please stick around for that. I'll do that at the end in case anyone's not interested in those. But welcome. So let's get right into the finished object. My niece's, Virginia's birthday is coming up this weekend. She is going to be 2. Hi Virginia, happy birthday, darling. And they do live up north in Massachusetts, where they have been very cold. They've gotten a little bit of snow, not too bad, but the weather has been quite frigid. So I made her some little bitty leg warmers, because when you're up north and you're little like that, you can't bundle up too much in the car seat. So leg warmers are great to put on. Aren't these adorable? They're great to put on when you're going out or just playing or just a little chilly. This yarn is Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby. It is a self-striping patterning ball, and I wouldn't have even grabbed it except for they did have a little sample knitted up, and I really like the colors. This is the coral colorway. It also comes, I believe there was a teal where it would have, you know, different tones of teal. I think there's a purple one and maybe a pink one. There was, I think, 4 different, maybe more, but those were the ones that stood out to me. Where it goes from a darker color. I think this is actually a bigger stripe. I just caught it in the right place to do it at both cuffs. So the darker, medium, and light tone of the coral in this case, and then it has 3 stripes of blue, pink, and teal on this one. So these are adorable. These are finished, and these will be heading out for her birthday. I did the stretchy slip knot cast on. I'll put that in the show notes. I believe it's Jenny. Just a video on YouTube that I found, which gives a great stretch. I do that on my socks too. It's one that I found for my socks, and I'm getting better at it. It doesn't annoy me so much, and I'm getting faster. So that's what I did for the cast on. I did 3, sorry, I'm going to move my chair closer. I feel like I'm stretching across the room. I used size 3 DPNs on the cuff, 46 stitches cast on, and then I did stockinette until I got to the dark coral again, and I did, it's 1x1 ribbing on both. And for the cast off, I used a stretchy bind off that I found from Very Pink Knits on YouTube, and I think it's called the stretchy cast off or bind off. And it's neat. I like the stretch. It gives a good stretch. I'm not sure if it's my favorite because I haven't tried too many yet, but I wanted to practice because I'm working on a toe-up sock, so I need to figure out how I'm going to cast that off. I do like it. It gives a nice finished edge, kind of like that braided edge. It does flare out a little bit. You can see from the cast on to cast off, it has a little bit of a flare. You get the same stretch though, as far as being able to, you know, stretch it out and get it on over your leg. And what else was I going to say about this? Oh, the cast off. This one you cast off in pattern, but you knit the first stitch, or I did because that was my stitch that was on there. So I knit the first stitch, purled the second stitch, and then you purl them the 2 stitches together, and then you'd knit the next stitch and knit the 2 stitches together, and then you go around in pattern and cast off, and that gives you the stretchy edge on this one. So I like it. I think these came out fantastic. Let me show you. I do have the yarn. I have lots of yarn left. I think these were each 20 grams, so the ball was 100 grams, so you could definitely get 2 pairs out of a ball. And oh, upside down, sorry. It's Yarn Bee by Hobby Lobby Urban Chic. It is a cotton and acrylic blend, and the color again was coral, and it's maybe a sporty DK weight. The pattern I had based it off of was it's a free pattern by Gemma Helliker. I found it on Ravelry, and it's called the Essential Legwarmers, and she uses a worsted in her pattern, worsted weight yarn. And because my gauge was smaller, I went up to 46 stitches. I think her largest pattern is for a child, and it was at a 44. So 46 seemed to be the right measurements and worked best for me, but that's the pattern I used to get started, and I love them. And my sister's in love with them. I can't wait to see them on Virginia. Hopefully I'll get some fun pictures to share with you. With her in her Legwarmers. And that, while I was working, was just in my little fox bag that I made. So that was my one finished object. I have 2 whips that I showed last week that I'm still working on. Because I worked really quickly, I did those Legwarmers, and for me, which was really fast, all in all probably in 4 days. Took me 2 days to do each one. So for me, that was very quick. I was excited because I'm quite slow when it comes to my socks. But again, this one's going really fast. This is my sock that I'm making for my son with the leftover yarns from my mom's socks, which is Diversity by Plymouth, and it is a acrylic and, let me see if I still have the tag in here. It is the acrylic and polyester blend. Diversity. And they're in the blue colorway 0001. So this is my very first toe-up sock. I'm using Susan B. Anderson's rib socks for kids on this pattern. I just basically used her counts, and I'm making a vanilla sock. I didn't do any ribbing on the foot. So that's where I was last time when I showed you. Whoa. Last time when I showed you, and I'm doing this magic loop, I usually cast on 2, but I found the cast on really easy, and I only cast on the 1. So we'll see how long it takes me to get the second sock going. I had double motives for casting 2 on right away. But I have reached the heel. I did the tiniest little fish lips kiss heel on that, and I am doing a 2x2 rib on the cuff. These will probably be shorty socks. I have a little bit yarn left, I can't use my words today, I'm sorry guys. I do have some, let's caught up on the other one. Okay, so I have another light blue into a dark blue color change, so I think I'm going to do into the light blue, which will give me one of these medium-sized extra ribs. So I'll finish the white and probably top it with the blue, and then that one will be done. But this has gone really fast. I have cast on 48. 48 stitches on size 1.5 needles for this one, and they fit him great. He told me they were his fancy socks, and that I was not allowed to work on anything else until they're done. So I think little Shawnee's going to be my motivation on that one. And then when I'm done with these, I will see if Michael would like a pair. He does not seem to be as interested in my sock knitting as Sean is, so he might want something else. But that is my one whip, almost a half object there. And that is in just my little flowered bag that I made. And then my last project is a crochet project, and this is the little dress that I'm working on, and the pattern I am basing this off of is, oh, I wrote you down. It's the Lilac Baby Set by Andree Tunde. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. And I'm starting with the dress. This will be a dress, sweater, hat, booties, and blanket set that is for my neighbor who is having a granddaughter. I don't remember where I showed you where I was last time with this dress. I had finished the dress and I was working off an adjusted pattern because the pattern is written for, the pattern is written for worsted weight yarn, DK worsted weight, and I'm using a fingering sport weight. So I've had to adjust the pattern down to the correct sizing for a newborn. And when I got to the skirt, it didn't flare as much as I'd like. I'll put a picture here of what it looked like when it was finished the first time, and talking with my neighbor, we decided that she would like it more of a flare like it is in the picture. So I pulled it back, but before then I had started the skirt twice and pulled it back because I was working in the wrong stitch. So I was going a little too fast with this pattern. I think I need to slow down and watch that. I just had a little trouble because this stitch here in the middle, she refers to as a shell, and then she says to do the shell on the skirt, and she does write out in the pattern that they're two different types of shells. So you're doing different stitches for the pink shell versus this shell, which is kind of more of a split shell on the skirt. And I had continued originally in this first shell pattern, realizing that I had made a mistake, pulled back, started with this shell pattern, and finished the skirt, and then we realized that it didn't flare quite enough. So I pulled it back again. And I think I've also added the pink edging since last time. Sorry, let me pull in some of these ends. There, a little better. So the pink edging I've added, and the skirt is back on track. And as you can see, it's a little fuller. I've added extra shells, so it's coming along. Hopefully we'll finish this up in a couple days, and then I'll put the pink edging back on the bottom, and I'll have that to show you as a finished object next week. And hopefully I'll have the sweater started, or one of the other little booties and hats that will be going with it. So this is going well, and this is been living in my Christmas gift from my sister. She made me a little zipper bag with llamas and sweaters and birds and sweaters and foxes and sweaters. And this is a great, you could do a 2-ball project in here very easily. I do have the pink and white ball in here plus the sweater, so it's got a little more room. So that is that. So that's all I've been working on. I have been sewing a lot, which I'll show you in a little bit. When you have the right fabric come up, I've had 2 beautiful ladies that I've been working with, Robin from Cherry Pearls podcast and Kayleen from the Littlebean and Me podcast, have been collaborating and talking for a little while now about doing a kit collaboration with their dyed yarns in one of my bags. And it happened that we found the right fabric for both fairly quickly. So Robin and I are putting together our kit, hopefully to come out this week, and Kayleen and I are going to have ours out probably in another week or so. We still have more dyeing and sewing to do. But let me show you, I will show all of that at the end, but just anyone that's interested. So we have the big sock inquisition is where I wanted to go today. I've been knitting socks now since last summer, since I started. I did my, I don't have my, no, they're not in the room. My first socks were just a vanilla sock on the Felici yarn. My second socks were a vanilla sock on the Diversity yarn from Plymouth that I gave my mom, and those fit her very well, and they it brought up more questions than answers on the fit of socks. And I think those fit the way they do, partly because of the yarn. It is not a wool, it's the polyester and acrylic. And it does say memory in the title, so it has a bit more of a stretch and that negative ease, the elusive negative ease. So my first socks I knit 64 stitches on 1.5 US needles in the circular magic loop. The second socks for myself, I knit the Hermione's Everyday Socks. on a size 1 needle, hoping that I could get a little bit tighter fit, because when I washed my socks the first time, they loosened up. So I thought, well, I'll try going down 1 needle size. So these are on a size 1, still again magic loop, still 64 stitches. They fit my foot lengthwise a little bit better because, or they do fit better. My Felici socks, I think I started the toe a little too early, so they do fit. I just know there's a little bit of a pull where I could have gone a little longer. So these, I paid attention to that, and I went a little longer in the foot. The foot fits nicely. The leg is very loose after washing it loose. This is Kayleen's sock base yarn, and I believe it is mostly superwash merino with a little bit of nylon in it. And I'm sorry, I don't have the tag, Kayleen. So again, it softened up, loosened up a little bit. So the cuff, when I wear it, it does scrunch a little bit. So there's no negative ease in the cuff. The foot fits perfectly, but it just, there's no, again, no negative ease. So they're great. I've been wearing them with my boots. They're very warm, very soft. But I don't think it's not quite the right fit yet. And my sister's been starting up working more socks again, and she started on a sock. I think she did 60 stitches, and it was just really huge in the cuff. So on the foot, she went down, after she turned the heel, she went down to, I think she said 58. And it seemed to fit better. And then she finished the sock, and now it's just one of those socks that she's not really happy with because the fit's off on the leg and the foot dramatically. So I think she's going to pull that one back, but she's taking a break because she's mad at it right now. My mom has made a sock where she followed the pattern, and it said to cast on, I think, 58 stitches, but it was a sport weight. And she knit those a while ago, and they're huge. So when I gave her my socks that I gave her, it was like night and day. I'll try and see if I can put in some pictures of these socks that we're talking about. It was night and day with the sizing. It was almost like an inch bigger than the socks that I gave her. And the ones that I gave her tend to fit, and she said they do have that negative ease. So this hunt for the negative ease and the right stitch count is, I'm trying to find out, and I guess my family would like to know too, because we're all wanting to knit the socks, and I know there's so many sock knitters out there. The question is, how did you find your fit? How did you find your magic number? Excuse me. What's your formula? Is it just a matter of trial and error, and you just pick a pattern, try it, and not be afraid to go down? If I'm giving information and advice out, excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone. What I was trying to say is, what I've found for myself so far is when you're working on socks and they're not fitting, you have to not be afraid to either rip them back and make them smaller just then, or when you make your second pair, be a bit bolder. And maybe I didn't know this quite yet because I felt that the first pair wasn't that far off from fitting, because they technically fit my foot. So I thought maybe going down just a half a needle size, I would get that negative ease that I'm looking for and a little bit tighter fit. And for me, that wasn't enough. And with such a beautiful pattern that took me all that time, and still while working on it, they did have a bit of snugness to them, so I didn't think that they were going to bloom as much as they did. So I think what I've learned so far is that I do need to go down, and I'm going to try 60 stitches. I'm going to do toe up on the next pair, and I'm hoping that with a toe up sock for me, I can see maybe if the 60 right away is giving that snugness on my foot, like a bit tighter feeling right away, and if it's not as tight as I'd like it, maybe go down, you know, I've only gone from the toe to the foot, and if I rip it back, I won't feel so horrible as if I had done, you know, the cuff and the ankle and the heel, and then realize that as I'm getting onto the foot, it's not fitting so well. So that's what I'm thinking. But what I'd love to do is offer up a prize question, and I will open a thread in my Ravelry group. And I realize I forgot to say at the beginning that all of my information is down below in the drop bar on all of my places to find me as Sunshine Bubblegum. And Ravelry is one of those places. Instagram, I'm also Sunshine Bubblegum. But we have a Ravelry group, the Sunshine Bubblegum group on Ravelry. And it might be Sunshine Bubblegum Podcast, but I'll put a link below. Anyway, I'm going to open a thread, and I'll keep it open until the next episode, so it'll be open for 2 weeks. But I would love for everyone to share their sock stories. How did you find the right fit for you? And am I looking for, you know, the unicorn socks? Hand-knitted socks won't fit like store-bought socks. And I just need to see what I can get close to. So I did ask Robin and Mary when we had coffee last time, and they said that their socks do fit snug. Robin does like hers a little looser because you know, she likes to wear them at night and not necessarily in your shoes. They're more of house socks. So everyone likes a different fit, and I realize that too. So if you could share what fit you like, maybe how many stitches you cast on for what size shoe you wear. I wear an 8.5, and I started with a 64. I'm going to go down to a size 60 stitch. What your favorite heels and toes and cuffs are. These cuffs are 1x1 rib, and as you can see, and this might be from when I blocked them, but they're not that tight, you know, as if I would have gone down, you know, when you do like a sweater cuff or something, and you do, or like the Legwarmers, I did the cuffs on a size 3, and then the stockinette body was on a 6. So the ribbing is not as tight as I would think it should be, I guess. So if there's a ribbing that you like, the first one I did was a 2x2, and that was very loose. So any tips, tricks, hints? How your story? How did you get from learning and finding out to find your perfect fit? And if it's just trial and error, it's trial and error. But I think I need to be a bit bolder in my trials, so I'm not knitting 8 more pairs of socks before I find the formula for me. And because I'd hate to keep using this beautiful yarn that for, you know, generally for a pair of socks, these gorgeous hand-dyed yarns, you want to make them fit because you put all the time and all that money into them versus just buying a, you know, $4 pair at the store. And if they don't fit, you know, you can return them or buy another $4 pair and you're out $4. So, but if you can do that, share your sock journeys and favorite sock tidbits and tricks, any websites or books, YouTube links, anything that you found helpful in your sock adventure, that would be awesome. I will put together a little prize package. I'm going to include some things from my friend Rob from his store. These are from Mick Porter Farms. These are, I'm going to do like a little notions pouch for everybody. So I have a measuring tape. I have a digital row counter. I have it's called a stitch tool, I guess. It's like a crochet hook on one side, and it's got a pointy end on the other, and a really cute, I don't know if you can catch it, little sheep stitch marker. Can you catch it? Oh, of course not with my finger in the way. Oh, that's a good one. And I'll add a few more goodies in. So we'll do a giveaway prize for everyone who would like to share their story, and I will hopefully, it'll be a good resource for anyone that's starting out socks. We'll have that in the thread on Ravelry, and everyone can refer back to it if there's something that helped you there. I hope we can help each other and knit the best socks we can knit. Yay! Alright, I'll try not to be that much of a dork. That's not true. I'm always going to be a dork. So, getting into sewing, and this does have to do with my Etsy store too. So if you're interested, please stay. I'd love to show you what I've been working on. love to show you what's going to be coming up in the shop and tell you a little bit about two beautiful dyers that I've mentioned before and I am working with, and I'm so excited. If you're not interested, thank you so much for hanging out. And I hope you enjoyed the projects I showed today. I hope you have some sock knowledge to share with us all, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so very much. So those of you that are staying, I have been working with two of my good friends, Robin from the Cherry Pearls podcast. Robin and Mary are a mother-daughter team, and they're here in New Orleans. And I'm also working again with the beautiful Kayleen, who's from Massachusetts, and she is dear to my heart because she's close to my hometown and we got to meet over the summer. So I've gotten to actually hang out with all of these ladies. Kayleen and I have already done one collaboration, and this will be our second. And let me tell you a bit about what we're all doing. So to start, my Etsy shop is Sunshine and Bubblegum on Etsy. I sell some handmade crocheted items, some knitted items, and I've been putting up my project bags on there. I'm going to have a lot more individual bags coming out soon. I've been sewing up a storm, and these two collaborations, I didn't mean for them to happen right at the same time, but when you find the right fabric and you get the right inspiration for dyeing yarn and they just happen, you gotta share them. So I will start with Robin because that one will be coming out first. This will be a collaboration, and she's going to show you the whole package on her podcast Friday, and I believe Friday evening, Friday the 20th, they will be live on Etsy, on her page, Etsy page, and mine. So we are, I'm going to show you what we're doing. So I found this fantastic fabric, and I showed it to Robin, and she loved it also and got very inspired. So we went with this. We were trying to get it together and get it out there. A few people were asking about some Valentine's Day gift sets, and we're doing that. So it is a beautiful roses and flowers with the light mint greens and the soft pinks and corals on the fabric. It does have a gold sparkle on the leaves. The top is diamonds with the same corals and peaches and gold and teal and mint, and the inside is white with little tiny triangles, again with all of the same color schemes. So Robin, we're hoping to get together tomorrow and put the kits together. She's been dyeing over the weekend. I've been sewing, and we're going to get together tomorrow, put the kits together, and we will show those off on Instagram. And then Robin will show them on her podcast, Cherry Pearls Podcast, on Friday. Excuse me, my voice is failing me. I'm going to try and make it through this without a big cough fit again. She will be showing those off on Friday, and then I believe Friday the 20th, they will be available for purchase on the Etsy. We are able, if someone misses out, we are able to do a few more kits, but they may be a pre-order because I have to get the fabric and she'd have to get the yarn, and there would be a little bit of time to get those together, but this is something we could do more of. So I hope that you check it out on Instagram. I am Sunshine Bubblegum on Instagram, and Robin is Teeny Button on Instagram and Ravelry. So, and she is Teeny Button Studios on Etsy, if I didn't say that already. So that's what's going on with Robin. And Robin, if you don't know her yarns, she is an amazing speckler. So she has some great speckles. This one will be a slightly speckled yarn with the colors that are in the bag, and those will be up for you to check out and see what the final look is shortly. So my next collaboration is with Kayleen from Littlebean and Me podcast. She is Littlebean Crochet on Instagram, and I believe her Etsy shop is also Littlebean Crochet. We did a great collaboration over Christmas with some hot chocolate fabric bags, and she did a peppermint swirl yarn, peppermint stick swirl yarn that went with it. And this time we are doing feathers. So Kayleen, her last episode was episode 23. She showed off the yarn last week. She is trying self-striping. She is loving it, and she's very good at it already. So she has already dyed up a sample of what I think will be the final yarn that's going with this bag. She showed it on her episode last week. So this is the fabric for the bags that we are doing. Beautiful feathers, navies and peaches and mints and light blue and a little bit of a gold tone in the striping there. This bag's not, this is half done. It still needs to be boxed and get ribbons and stuff. The inside is a light mint green with little white triangles. And this kit will probably be, I'd say 2 weeks before it's ready, so we will keep you up to date on that on either her podcast, my podcast, and we're both on Instagram. We will share that as soon as they are ready. I'm still sewing, she is still dyeing, and there'll be a few more add-ons that will be going with this kit. So once we have all of the pieces together, we will show them off to you and let you know when they will be ready and available. But I wanted to give you a great sneak peek on both of those things. I hope that you're excited about them. I personally will have more just individual bags coming in the shop. I have some great spring fabrics and some fun ideas for colorways and such. And I also have a few. I'm so sorry. And that's what I got going on right now. So I'm going to let you go because my voice won't hold out any further, I don't think, without more coughing. I hope you have all had a beautiful start to your January and New Year. And if this was your first episode, I apologize for the coughing interruptions, and but I do hope you enjoyed it, and we have lots more coming up this season. I have some more babies coming into my family, and lots of knitting and crocheting and gifting ideas that I talked a little bit about last time. If you're returning, thank you so much for being here. Again, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!